How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another One Mic Live, One Mic, One Community. You know what it is already, people. We got to get these lives consistent, even though Arsenal are not being very consistent in the window. Or some might say, look at ZUBIMENDI. More news on that, but that's been launched so many times now that, yeah, I'm not really. I've passed the anticipation and the excitement of it all. He is a good player. He is in London. He is here for his medical, but apparently that was done 2.5 weeks ago. So yeah, let me not start on a downer, people. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, do all of that stuff. Let's get into it. We've got about an hour, I'd say. Yeah, about an hour. Apologies, vibes. I see you've got an hour lunch break waiting on me, 5 minutes. I know. I like to let the crowd build up 5 minutes. Why not? Why not? But big up the community. It's not about the crowd, it's about the engagement. Get your questions in, get your thoughts in. This is what One Mic Live is about. As you can see on my channel, I'm doing more content, breaking news, short pre-records. Hopefully you've enjoyed the last couple of those. One around the fixtures and the other around Gyökeres favouring an Arsenal move. I'll continue doing those when I think there's worthy enough news to break. I'll do a short pre-record, but after a few days, I'll do a live like this so we can all get our thoughts in after a good few sleeps and maybe not just off the cuff like a breaking news is. But yeah, big up the community, big up Joey as well, always supporting. Love for the love, my guy. Appreciate it. Suge in the building, Ryan, Nines, I see you as well. Tobias saying, come on then, let's have it. Let's have it. Partey news is probably the most relevant at this moment in time, I'd say. I know it's been coupled up yesterday. Partey news broke through Fabrizio Romano, one of the more trusted sources, and I say more with caps lock on because you can't fully trust any one of these guys really, but Fabrizio is one of the more trusted ones, and he said that negotiations have somewhat stalled. Now I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to know there's been some stalling. There's been some problems because the season's well and truly done. Release players and the contract players have gone, announced, and we are still here June the 20th. Forget whether the transfer window's open, closed, or opened again. This is something that, you know, started towards the back end of last season, and the fact that it isn't signed, sealed, delivered yet, and there is no real definitive news on it, should tell all of us that there's been some delays. A lot of us assumed that it was more down to years, but it's seemingly more down to wages. And we're going to get into all of that. I see the super chats flying in as well. Don't worry, they're all saved on the side. So we will get into that. And like I said, ZUBIMENDI news today. Ornstein, he's in London. He's signed, sealed, soon to be delivered. But like I said, I mean, they launched that after we went out to United in the FA Cup. They relaunched it after we went out to PSG in the Champions League. Coincidence? I think not. So, you know, once you've launched something twice, it's hard to really launch it a third time and still have that same buzz and excitement. It's more on to the next one. And the final piece of news, I mean, the One Mic Live isn't just about Arsenal. Liverpool are competition, you might call them, in terms of the Premier League title next season. At this stage right now where I'm at, I'm not too sure we're going to be much competition to them for that Premier League title, or as much as Man City might be. But yeah, there's some news around them and rumors, loose rumors, not from one of the more trusted sources, but something worth talking about because I just don't understand how we've landed where we've landed in terms of what is acceptable for us this summer from where, you know, we took off, which was probably about 12 months ago, really hit the heights in January. And now all of a sudden we're landing somewhere that wasn't on the radar. I'll get into that. I'll get into what I'm talking about there, people. As you can see, this video is partly brought to you by Lit Hair. You know what they've done for me. I haven't done my hair, so it might be mad taking my hair off. I ain't done my hair and it's still looking healthy. Look, there's a little strand there missing. It needs to get back in line. There we go. But I let have sorted me out, and yeah, that's how it's looking at this moment in time. Still early stages, 4 months in or 4 months after shedding. So listen, if you're someone that's been contemplating, if you're someone that's taken up the free consultation, then maybe the next step for you is join up the WhatsApp group. They've opened up a WhatsApp group. It'll be active from today. I'll be active from, let's say, early evening. I'll be active throughout Saturday and most of Sunday. So for the next 48 hours or so, I'll be active in that group. Why? Questions, thoughts, updates, I know for some people it's a big step, and for others maybe just inquisitive. So that group is set up there. Anyone can join, but obviously, you know, it is moderated, so keep it respectful, keep it sweet. And obviously it's focused on the people that are either considering it soon or considering it long term. Join up that WhatsApp group, people. There's a link in the description, there's a link in the live chat right now, and if you're watching this after, there's a pinned comment with the link there. So there's 3 ways to join up that group, but like I said, join up the group only if you want news, updates, thoughts, questions about the process and about my journey so far. I got it done end of January. It's coming up to the end of June now, so all in, I've got some experience with it. And as you could see, or as you just saw, you can rewind it a little, the head of hair is looking quite solid, if I don't say so myself. I just got to get it part of the routine. The beard's part of the routine every day. Shampoo, condition, oil, hydrate, comb out, brush down. Now I got to sort the hair out, people. So that's another. Listen, that's a beautiful problem to have. When not too long ago, it was just the beard. I bang a hat on. Bob's your uncle. Nah, you see those venues that say no hats. I can go there, head held high. Not that I didn't anyway, people. It is what it is. You got hair, you don't have hair. Live your best life. But if you need a hair transplant, then come over to that WhatsApp group, people. Come off to that WhatsApp group. Hats off, vibes. Hats off. Soon, you're gonna see a thumbnail with me soon. I mean, you saw a thumbnail last year with the process just starting. You might see another one with this and then the major trophy there. Might put the Champions League ears on it. But yeah, that's for the people that are in search, in need, or just inquisitive about, you know, the process behind the hair transplant, people. So I won't bang on about it now. Obviously, there's nearly 1,000 of you here. If you're interested in that, it's running for the next 48 hours or so. I'll be active later tonight. There's doctors in there now. There's professionals in there now. You can join up, ask your questions, and yeah, we move from there next 48 hours up until the end of Sunday. So yeah, if you need something, hop on, people. Big up Suj, big up Turkish, Little Man, Z, and the chat. Hit the likes, people, while you're at it. Show a lit hair some love. Almost time for your next trip, Turkish. Love for the love. I'm all right, you know. I don't think I need a next trip, brother. I don't think I need it. I might need a next trip at the end of this coming season. I'll be real with you. So I got to keep the network there. So make sure you do show a lit hair some love, people. Because if we don't sign something by the end of the summer, and if we don't win something by the end of the season, then I might have to hit them up again. Like I said, people, the chat's there, the super chats are there. But yeah, let's get into the bulk of it. Thomas Partey, like I said, I'm not a rocket scientist. I knew there was problems. My problem with it is this is something that the club should have been sorting out a little while ago. And now we know that the news of talks came about towards the end of the season. I think with about 4 weeks to go, 4 game weeks to go of the season. And some might say that's early enough, considering we had to play it out and see if he remains injury free till the end of the season, because he's had probably the most efficient season for us overall, all things considered. So I understand that, but at the same time, what I mean by getting it sorted, does he want to stay? Doesn't he want to stay? If he wants to stay, what does he want? What can we do? Let's sort this out. I mean, he's a player at the club. He's signed, not anymore. He's a free agent, but sort it out. It shouldn't be going into the 3rd week of June now, and the rumors are that he wants more money, which, to be honest with you, I disagree with. I understand where he's coming from, but I disagree with it. But this is what happens when your wage structure kind of gets tainted over the years, because Thomas Partey is a far more and has been a far more important player than both Jesus and Havertz over the last 2 years. And when Jesus and Havertz are on 260, 275, I understand why Thomas Partey, his agent, his representatives are asking for more money. Now, some might say humble himself. He's been injured a couple seasons, but at the same time, you know, I guess you're only as good as your last season, right? Remember Xhaka? You know, everyone forgot the 6 years before that, and apparently he left the cult hero and all of that stuff. Yeah, nonsense. But I get why the club would have been hesitant to go him really early, and by really early, I mean January, to offer him a new contract. But once you see that he's been ever present, consistent, and the quality's there, just find out. He might want to move on. Maybe Ali or something have offered him, you know, 400k a week. I don't know. It's not my job to know. I don't get paid to know. Who does know? Him, his agent. Who should know? The club. Berta, Arteta. Lewis or Garlic, whoever is dealing with it. Just find out. Do you want to stay, mate? Yeah. All right. So what do you want? All right, cool. I'll get back to you. Give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. I'll get back to you. 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't think we can do those wages, but can you, extend same wage? And what we dilly dallying about? We can't be dilly dallying in phase 6, year 6 in this transfer window. We can't be dilly dallying, but we are dilly dallying. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, as much as at one point this season, Partey assumed he was leaving, it looked like things turned around there. And to be honest, that would have been a benefit to the club and next season, because if Jorginho and Partey leave, we need 2 midfielders. Now, on the flip side, I think it opens up an opportunity for Mikel Arteta to be a bit more, what's the word? What's the opposite of pragmatic? The chat can help me out here. It's a chance for Arteta to be the opposite of pragmatic for once, in terms of his approach to how to replace Thomas Partey, because James brought it up on transfer talks or talking transfers, whatever it is, because there's no transfers to talk about expansive is the right word, about how we replace Thomas Partey. I'd replace him with a creative 8/10. That's what I would do. I'd replace him with a creative 8/10. So that will give us, in terms of options, Zubimendi and Rice in the 6. In the 8 would have Rice and Marino and the new guy, and in the 10 would have the new guy and Odegaard. Because I still see Rice as more of a 6 than I do anything else. I know he's done well in the 8. I know he has, and I like him there. But I've also liked him in the 6 when I've seen him in the 6. Very different 6 to a Zubimendi. So it gives us enough options to not go like for like in a Thomas Partey replacement. At one stage, I looked at Zubimendi coming in and Thomas Partey staying and saying that 6th position is more than covered, because you add Rice to that as well. I mean, you struggle to find a side with 3 midfielders of that ilk in different ways to accommodate for one position. But sorry, little man's getting mad. But how do I lock up this door? Just put this here. Yeah, there we go. But where was I? I even forgot where I was. Little man messing about. I might bring him into the video soon. Keeps on opening the door. But yeah, where was I? The options. Yeah, when Rice and when Partey was going to stay, I was more than happy with that. Less work to do in the summer, but now it looks like he's going. It doesn't mean, we've already replaced him with Zubimendi, because we're light. Jorginho has gone. Zubimendi's come in. So Partey needs to be replaced. How he's replaced, that'll be interesting for me. Shirky would have been the guy. Oh, he's completely different. Yes, I've just explained why I would go for a completely different midfielder. I think we've got enough options across the board, and we are set up more defensively anyway. When you are set up all round, 11 of your players are doing jobs defensively, defending becomes somewhat easier. I'm nothing against the results of the system, but what I mean, you can loosen it up a little bit and still get those defensive results, because most people on the side of on the team, on the pitch, have a job to do defensively. I'm bringing little man soon. I'll bring him in soon. I think he's gone to do some Lego. Brian says serious clubs identify targets, negotiate and seal the deal in days, not months. No endless quote monitoring and waiting for whatever crumbs are left. Monitoring, advancing, exploring, we're doing a hell of a lot but signing. And that is the bottom line of a transfer window. Sign, fuck the talk, sign. Action. We don't need words, we need action. Now, I know words lead to action, but let's be serious here. If I said, who do we think we are close to in the window? And don't say Zubimendi. We know, like I said, launched, relaunched, third launch now. I'm tired. Who are Arsenal Football Club even close to? Who is the target? We don't even know that. They don't even know that. The reason we don't know that is because they don't know that, because they would be going. Now, one argument might be, and this is the only argument that probably makes or will make it make sense, that we want both Gyökeres and Sesko. So the negotiation going on with both camps It's to, when tied together, you're getting 2 strikers. This is the fee. Let's keep it moving. I'd understand that then, because then your prime targets, you did go from the very beginning, both Gyökeres you've been speaking to, Sesko you've been speaking to. Then it would make sense. But Arsenal to sign both Gyökeres and Sesko to make it make sense, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that. But you know, Arsenal don't often make sense of the nonsense. Red Square says, "Big up Turkish. Have you heard about Sesko wanting a buyout clause like he is moving to Brighton? If it's true, that's a red flag." I hadn't heard that rumor. And not too long ago, I would have, you know, when Haaland moved to Dortmund, was it 17 mil January? Off the top of my head, Man United were interested. And I think he didn't go to Man United. One of the reasons being because United wanted to put a release, no, didn't want to put a release clause in the contract. Whereas Haaland did, because I guess Haaland had in that time, you know, paved his career in a certain way. I suggested those times, let's go for Haaland and give him the release clause he wants, because at that time, you know, we needed what we needed, and we had to do what we could do, and that wasn't the upper echelon of the markets. It was trying to be shrewd and trying to, you know, get what you can. So then, 4 years ago, or yeah, around 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have minded a player mentioning a release clause, especially someone like Haaland. Now, Sesko's no Haaland, and we are not what we was then. So if this rumor is true, and again, is it from Fabrizio? Is it from Ornstein? That they don't really delve into that sort of information. Really, it's more, you know, surface level. Then I wouldn't be happy with it, you know. But I'm already a bit like, hold on, did this guy really say no to us last year because of Havertz up top? And has this guy really, you know, been assessing his options in the first 3 weeks of the window, while the one that's actually bagged and he's at the age that, you know, hits the ground running more often than not, is prioritizing us over a bigger money move? Doesn't really bode well. Doesn't really bode well. Sorry. On to the next one. Big up vibes, new member. Members, apologies, love for the love, but I still haven't brought anything to the membership section. So if you're a member, then you're the realest of real ones, because yeah, you're just supporting the cause, supporting the channel. Big up. And finally, I'm actually delivering more, so long may that continue as well. User says, we are linked with Hato today. I'd honestly take a proper left back like him to play Skelly in the 8 instead of signing a young replacement for Partey. Again, I do think that's something that James actually suggested when Hato, or Hato, which I'm going to say Hato was mentioned. And I'm not against it. I'm not against it. All that does for me is I still need that 10, if I'm honest with you. Like, you know, but that 10 was Shirky. By that I mean, you know, wages and fee, considering what we have to do in striker and left wing. Considering what we have to do striker and left wing, then yeah, Shirky would have been the one. I don't know how we get a deal like that in the 10. But yeah, I'm all right with Lewis Skelly moving into midfield, but at the same time, he's made his name at left back, so I don't know. Listen, he's close to a contract, right? So I guess that is the positive. He was initially in the thumbnail, but I changed it up this morning. Big up Max. But yeah, Lewis Skelly on the verge of signing a new contract is positive. He was on the verge in February as well. So hopefully we just get a signed, sealed, delivered. But I don't think it was ever really in doubt. And, you know, if it was, then big problem. Samuel says, big up Turkish. Did you see Timber expose Arteta? He basically said he played him through injury during the PSG games and said we're having a busy summer. Break that up for me, Samuel. What do you mean, said we're having a busy summer? Because I know the first bit, I see Timber's quotes, and I mean, again, you know, Samuel, I've seen you comment before. Again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know Arteta's been playing a lot of players through injury. Ben White, the situation with Ben White turned out the way it did last season because he was playing through injury. Now, I'm not saying Arteta's, you know, forcing them to play, right? Because in my opinion, athletes, footballers, you get knocks you get niggles, you keep it moving, right? You're getting paid a lot. You should have the heart, the fight to be able to fight through a somewhat pain. Obviously, there's levels to it. So I get there's a balance there, right? And I don't really think players would be like, nah, I can't play if they can play. And I do think certain characters would limit the pain level that they're in to, to play a game. Now, Timber's words just highlight the problem that has been going on for the last 2 years at the very least. A problem that really reared its head in terms of results of that problem, of that equation. In the injuries we've had, the types of injuries, the hamstrings, the operations, it's been non-stop throughout the season, and it started with Ben White last summer. So Timber's words ain't news to me, but I guess all these hives out there, it will be news to them if they was blindfolding themselves from the truth and the reality that being as light as we were last season can cost you the season after, because the players that are getting banged out for 50 games that are coming off the back of an ACL the season before might potentially have some repercussions off the back of that game time, and going into next season, all of a sudden Ben White hasn't played much football in a year, come back a bit rusty, and Timber's played too much football in a year off the back of an ACL, and he's got another injury and another problem. So we're going into next season with two right backs that we're happy with. You look at Ben White, a couple of years before last, top right back, top three in the Premier League, in my opinion. You look at Timber last season off the back of the ACL, immense, probably player of the season, if not top three for most. But now we're going into next season, year 6, with both question marks over their heads in terms of how they're gonna recover and move forward from the very different situations they had last season. But we will all forget come next season, and when there's an injury, we'll all call it bad luck. We've got to manage it better, Mikel. Fonzie says, Turkish, as a Liverpool fan, I respect you very much for your unbiased opinions. Don't say that, brother. Don't say that, because then the hives are going to come and say, this is why I, talk negative of Arsenal, because I love that the opposition fans big me up. No, don't do that, brother, please. The rest of your fans can hold it. Truly, they deserve all this crap. And there we go. On that note, but big up, Fonzie. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. I like talking about every club, because if I just talked about Arsenal, then yeah, I just talked about Arsenal, then there'd be big problems. One sec. Cool. YouTube Sinner says Turkish. BS. Oh, Sesko and Gyökeres is the latest divide at the club. I'd take both, but any real Arsenal fan knows that only 1 out of 2 is an Arsenal player. Yeah. I agree with that. We should be expecting both, and this is why I've included ISAK in the title, in the thumbnail, because as much as I don't think Liverpool get Isak this summer, they're being linked to him. They're being linked to at least making some inroads, or asking some questions, and raising their hand as a potential option. That's all you can do. What happens from there is up to the selling club, is up to the player, is up to the agent, it's up to how they maneuver. That's all you can do. And that's what I would have liked Arsenal to do. Test the waters. Maybe Rodrigo will wait until the end of the Club World Cup. That's fine. I can understand that. As harsh as I might be, as negative as I might be with Rodrigo, I understand the need to wait. But whilst you wait for that one, if you are waiting for that one, which I doubt they're waiting for that one, but we'll find out, then get some other things done. If you call up Newcastle or Isak's agent and say, yeah, we're gonna offer 140, just a heads up. How do you feel about that? Or don't tell me how you feel. It's going in, so the club are getting that offer. Let's find out what happens. The agent might be like, brother, we're waiting for Liverpool. The agent might be like, yo, we're interested. The agent might be like, listen, we ain't gonna ruffle feathers at Newcastle. Let's see what they say. That's all. That's the 3 options that you have. You get aired, you get greeted with open arms, or you get directed to the club because the club have treated them well, and they don't. I get that. That's the only. Find out. Find out. And I'm sure Liverpool are going to find out. Todd says, have we seen any reliable sources on the ISAK link? No, no, again, that's why I've mentioned. I've just seen his name talked with Liverpool a lot. I haven't even seen one source. I've just seen the rumors picking up, the fans talking and whatnot. I'm just saying this is what I would like Arsenal to be doing. Find out. Find out. Over the last couple of years, apparently we've been waiting on Sesko, right? We haven't tried to find out once. There's been no bids. No bids. Even last summer, there was no bid. Maybe a conversation, no bid. Nico Williams, apparently was waiting for him as well. No bid. He's got a release clause. We've made no bid. So all of this stuff about waiting and, you know, partly what us fans create, nonsense. The club just allow it to circulate because it makes us look better, because we ain't really trying to go for ISAK or Nico Williams. We're probably trying to go for Madueke and Sesko. Anyway, Gyökeres and Sesko still on. Just you. Don't forget me. Oh, yeah, I won't forget you. You said we're getting both, right? So that's cool. ISAK to Liverpool, we win the double. Like I said, I don't think it happens this summer with Liverpool. I've never seen Liverpool move in that way. I mean, it's pretty not shocking, because Liverpool are a massive club and they've got massive pool, massive history and heritage, and playing at Anfield special, and you know the club are special. But you know the way they've moved in the first few weeks of the window, it's been new to me. Now you see, obviously, Premier League era is me, and Liverpool's era before this, you know, last 7-8 years, was prior to the Premier League era. So all I've known of Liverpool is quality, heritage, many a great player, legendary, biggest club in England, second biggest, joint bigger, whatever, and many stars across the Premier League era, even if they haven't been winning league titles. But this summer they're moving very different. So I'm not shocked so far with the Wirtz thing. I think when you come off the back of this is it, people, right? We come off summers, we don't spend anything, and then we'll go the next summer and still tighten the screw and spend, but not spend like we should have off the back of a summer where we haven't spent anything. Liverpool don't spend anything. Then the next summer, spanking their way through transfers. That's how it should be. You save money one summer, spank the next one. But we're just out here just saving money one summer, saving money in January again, and then going into year 6 summer without a real clue. Like I said, I'll ask the question again. Who are Arsenal close to and or identified as the primary target? Do not say Sesko. Do not say Gyökeres, because at this moment in time, we are all deliberating about who wants who the hell is closer, who we're more advanced on. Have we advanced too much that we need to turn back round? Like, it's all too many questions, no answers. What time is it? Oh, coming up to 30 minutes in. Reminder, people. Reminder, 30 minutes in. Big up a lit hair. If you don't know, you should know. I brought out a hair vlog not too long ago, February. But listen, we'll save the questions, thoughts, and conversation for the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group, there's a link in the description. There's a link in the live chat. And if you're watching after, there's a link pinned in the comment section. That WhatsApp group, I'll be in there. I'm in there now. I'll be active later today. The doctors are in there. The experts are in there. So if you're someone either on the way to getting a hair transplant, considering getting a hair transplant, or just someone that wants to know a bit more about a hair transplant, maybe for future reference, then join up the group, people. Ask your questions, get your thoughts across. Like I said, it's not just me who's been through it the last 6 months, but there's doctors and experts in there, and it's active for the next 48 hours or so. So if you're someone that your ears have perked up or your hair is perking down, then go to that group, people. And like I said, I'll be active later today. There's already a few active members in there now. I'm seeing my phone light up. So big up everyone that's actually joined that group. We'll talk soon, people. We'll talk soon. And a reminder, I say a reminder, I haven't even let you lot know this, but with 2,000 people watching, hit that like button first and foremost. But if you go into that group and you decide that you do want to go forward with the process, and trust me, Elite Hair, they're the ones, I can vouch for it, then you'll get €200 off the treatment if you access it through that WhatsApp group. So if you're someone considering it, there's another saving there. €200 probably works out around 170 quid, pounds, British sterling. But I know there's people all over the gaff, so you can work that out yourselves in terms of currencies. But yeah, if you're interested in the hair transplant WhatsApp group, and you'll obviously save some money too. And it's not a must that you go through with the process. Maybe it's just questions to ask for 6 months down the line when you actually need it, or 12 months down the line when we don't win something for another year and we're all pulling our hair out because David Ornstein told us in February that it's a poor season, but we're going for ISAK and we've got a war chest, and we're keeping our powder dry and our ink dry and everything dry. Just make sure your head's not dry. Elite Hair, show them love. WhatsApp group. I'll join you a lot soon. Oh, this club. If this club made me lose another hairline, bro, I'd be 2 hairlines down. I know Elite Hair are probably looking at this video thinking, hey, Arsenal need to, you know, go through another season not winning, because we'll be laughing. I wouldn't be laughing, people. I've only got energy for one hairline rebuff. So yeah, if it happens again, you will see me fully bald outside the Emirates. But yeah, show Elite Hair some love. WhatsApp group, there you go. Show your own hair some love. Brian says Zubimendi, Sesko, Kepa, and Madueke window for Arsenal. No. Joey says, big up Turkish, keep up with the good work. Come on, Joey. Love always, my bro. Ash says, Turkish, Liverpool have completed 3 deals and sold a youngster for 35 M's. And it's only June 20th. Is it a lack of preparation from us? Ash, it's always a no. Because listen, let's put it like this, right? You've got a 20-year window or 20 example window, like however you would, you want to look at it. Yeah, there's 20 examples, there's 20 years. If we're talking the club, let's say 20 years. If you're talking anything, walk of life, let's just say 20 exams. You could put 20 in anything, right? And for the first 5 of those exams, for the first 5 of those years, for the first 5 of whatever metric you put there, you go into this exam, you go into the office, you go into the transfer window, the same. Seemingly unprepared, a bit hit and miss, throwing shit out, we'll see what sticks, waiting for other dominoes to be knocked down. So you've done this for 5 years, right? Or 5 meetings or 5 whatever. It then starts becoming, you're not underprepared. It's not a lack of preparation anymore. It's the way. It's the Kroenke way. It's the Arsenal way under the Kroenkes. So it's not a lack of preparation when there is job roles assigned to identify gaps in the squad, gaps in the starting 11, and identify who, what, when, where can fill those gaps. People are paid to do this day in, day out. Their job is not just June, July, and August, and then they go into a burrow like a fucking badger. They're there every day getting paid. They're not on like, short-term contract, 3-month contract in the year. This is, you just come in and do that. No, they're paid day to day. So what are they doing? So no, it's not a lack of preparation. It's the Kroenke way. It's the Arsenal way under the Kroenkes. That's it. That is it. I even asked who did I ask? I forgot who I asked. AGT. I think I asked AGT, but generally, I mean, our Liverpool's owners are American, but they're not linked to Kroenkes or Glazers or Bowleys, are they? I'm not too sure. They don't move like they are anyway. And to be honest, Bowley doesn't move like others either. I'm not saying he moves good. Hussein, I see you try to put a couple super chats in with nothing there. So if anything, just try put your comment in, because I know you must be pissed off that two have gone in there. Just put your comment in and I'll try and find it. Big up flight modes. He says Rodrigo is this Windows version of Gnabry a couple of years ago. Arsenal fans need to wake up to the nonsense we are fed to divert us from the real stench. 100%. And I'm just going to keep on banging on the Rodrigo drum, because like I said, with landing and where we've departed from a place in the last 12 months saying we want ISAK. And if it's not ISAK, it's Osherman or Gyökeres. Why? Because they're all goal scorers. Why ISAK over them? Because he's done it in this league. And not only is he a goal scorer, he's actually got a certain beauty on the ball that no other striker has in world football at this moment in time. Or out and out striker. That's the reasoning. So we've taken off from that airport. ISAK, Osherman, Gyökeres. Goal scorer, ISAK first, please. We've taken off from that airport and we've landed at a 13-goal Bundesliga 22-year-old because he's a better fit. And I'm quoting fans here, because some of us fans, listen, I've suggested some silly names in the past. I've said some silly things in the past. I can hold my hands up to a few of those. At the time, very different in context, but some of the nonsense people are saying to justify Sesko, when we need goals. And every justification I've heard for Sesko is everything aside from the goals. Don't we have enough of that? Oh, Gyökeres doesn't head the ball as good as Sesko. We've got enough good headers of the ball in the side. That's actually a pro of our squad. We have players that can get on the end of crosses. We've got that. So how is a justification that we need another one, or because he doesn't do that? No, he does different. We need different. We need to be able to change it up. We need to be able to change it up. People want the exact same thing. Oh, he can run the channels and he can drop in like Havertz. Well, we've got Havertz. We've got Havertz. And then I hear nonsense. Oh my God. Let me not even say some of these. Someone said the other day, where would we be without Havertz? Where would we be without? I never thought I'd hear that question in my life, but it's a serious question. It was straight face, no joke, and then an explanation. Where would we be? And this is what we do. Like, we forgot what a proper striker is? Arsenal have always had a proper striker. Now we're getting people saying, this is not the type of striker that Arteta wants. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. What do Arsenal want? What have Arsenal had in our greatest eras, moments? The last one, a great striker, Aubameyang. The greatest of eras, right? Henry, Bergkamp, Wiltord, Kanu. Guess what? All of them are different. All of them are different. But it worked. Francis Jeffers comes in. Doesn't work. So what? You can take risks. It doesn't work. That was meant to be the fox in the box. But guess what? Proactively, I think he stayed 2 years max or 18 months. He was gone. He was gone. Now we act like this is the type of striker for Arsenal because this is the only way. When last season, how much evidence did we need that we need someone that can change it up, not someone else that can come and head the ball? We've already got that. Big up Lee in the chat as well. I see Lee earlier, I believe. More than you can believe. I definitely saw his name. Might still be about. Big up Lee. And big up anyone I've missed. Next one on Samuel again saying Timber said we're going to have a busy transfer summer because of the injuries and how light we were last season, and I really hope he's right. Oh, did he say that? Yeah, okay, I like that. I mean, Declan Rice mentioned something about players, I think after the last game of the season or towards the last game or whenever he mentioned Arsenal signed players basically, and now Timber's saying it as well. I mean, you don't often hear players talking like this, but the players know. Jerome Anderson spoke on AFTV recently. He said the players were let down in January as well. It's not just fans. And that's what I keep on telling people. It's all good and well saying, Turkish is negative after Man United when I flipped. Look, he's just, look, he's losing it. It's all good and well saying that. But guess what? Many players would agree. Many of the best players in the side would agree that they needed something in January, and the club's moving like they've always moved when we're on the cusp of something special under this ownership anyway. And that's stopped moving. But yeah, I'm negative. YouTube Sinister, 25 years deep into supporting the Arsenal, 40 million and £1. Listen, I'm bored. We all know how it's going to go. Just get me a striker and someone better than Sterling. And that's how it always lands for us as well, bro. It always just get me a striker and an upgrade on Sterling. I mean, and they get away with it. And I'm not saying you're wrong, because even over the years, I've had a son. I mean, I tried to do a protest in 2019. 2019, yeah, before COVID. It wasn't great. 40 people max showed up, and I got ridiculed, and but I had some heart for it. I had some energy for it. My priorities in life were very different. But now it's, what can man do? We went through that era, and we still couldn't form a proper protest. Let's put the Super League one aside. No one in the big six has been treated like us fans over the last 20 years in terms of from there to there and hold it. But we couldn't form anything real. So it always ends up with, just get me a striker and someone better than Sterling. And I get it. Sad, but I get it. Blicky says, once fans see our owners want us to be a sustainable top 4 team rather than winners, they'll stop wondering why we're buying project players in year 6. I mean, Blicky, if those fans didn't realize last summer and in January, then the last one I'm giving them is this summer. And after this summer, if any fan, online, offline, inline, outline, talk some shit, I'm onto them. Because enough is enough, right? Even I hopped on and trusted and believed and, thought we was on the cusp of something. So people can't say, this is all he wants to be. This is all he's ever been. No. I'm glad that clip of me resurfaced that 18 months ago. Both on Big Six, I said we're winning a major trophy. And on DR, I even showed more chest saying we're going to dominate. I'm glad those are out. Because it shows a different side to me. It shows that when I do believe, I believe. And when it's time to show chest, I will show chest. But it wasn't time. And my belief was, they wiped their asses with my belief. Or anyone's belief. You see, last summer, the board, the club, the people in charge wiped their asses with our belief and our trust. Because to bring Sterling in on deadline day, flush the toilet. It's a wrap. And it was a wrap. Am I getting rallied up, man? It's like 30 degrees outside. Little man's downstairs. Rickin says, big up, bro. I'm fed up. Not hearing this quote. It's early bullshit. This happens every year. Took 2 months to sign Marino. Then Sterling deadline day. Are we trying to win a title or not? Not. Is Kepa even done yet? We can't even do that properly. We can't even do that properly. We can't. With the goalkeeper one, I mean, I don't really want to see Kepa's name, hear Kepa's name, until it's Carabao Cup. In, out, shake it all about. If we don't get far, that is it. Raya stay fit for the rest of the tournaments, the competitions, whatever. I don't care about our backup keeper. I never really have. All the way back to Meninga and whoever else. Almunia was that guy. Almunia was a backup, comes on Champions League final, and then he becomes our keeper for the next 10 years after being beaten at the near post in the Champions League final twice. Wenger really went on a mad one in the Emirates era. I'll be real. Big up Rickin though, man. Completely agree. Sorry. Lee, big up Lee as well. This is why our super chat Gyökeres over Sesko is a no-brainer. We need goals, but people are out there talking about fit. We need goals. Gyökeres goals. Trust me. You know what it's like? You need a t-shirt. Like, it's coming up to summer. You need a t-shirt. You're assessing your options. Okay, that's okay. Slim fit, boxy fit. Okay, someone's going to be hot. Maybe the box, maybe a bit oversized. We'll see. And then someone comes and says, "Nah, get these shorts. It's a better fit." Brother, can I put shorts on my arms? I need a t-shirt, right? Don't bring me shorts and tell me it's a better fit. I need a t-shirt. And that's not the best analogy I've come out with, but it's pretty, it's pretty bang on. Because Gyökeres is a goal scorer and Sesko is potentially I don't even know what to call him. I don't even know what to call him. And then people will say, "Oh, but he doesn't score goals when he ends up with 14 in the league. He brings people in." You know, oh, you know when people ruin words, like agenda's been ruined and process has been ruined, that these things have been ruined. You know what's been ruined recently in the last 18 months? Ball knowledge. I don't know how people have managed to ruin that, yeah? But do you know how many people I'm going to go back to in the next 6 to 12 months that had the cheek to say, I've got no ball knowledge because I don't like Havertz, and now say I've got no ball knowledge because I don't like Sesko? Oh, I don't mind Sesko. I don't like Havertz. I don't mind Sesko. I want your man are using ball knowledge for Havertz and Sesko. The game, it hasn't gone. It's fucking out of here. It's out of here. The stratosphere, the game is no longer. Ball knowledge. You know what ball knowledge used to be? Like JJ Okocha and Zidane and Bergkamp and Zola and Cantona and just, you know, even Xavi and Iniesta period. And, you know, and I don't mean just knowing about them. I mean, like, that is ball. That is the knowledge you need of ball. That is how to play football in the purest form. Now people are using ball knowledge for space invaders and man that can't even seal a position on the pitch. Ball knowledge. They make me sick. They make me sick. If that's ball knowledge, I don't want ball knowledge. I swear to you. If that's ball knowledge, keep it on that shelf. I'll move on, because that is if this is Gen Z ball knowledge, or where is this generation? Gen Alpha? I don't know what you lot are called, but if this is ball knowledge of this era, then I don't want it. I don't want it. Ball knowledge for Havertz. Oh my, nah, I'll lock off this whole stream. I've seen, do you know the beautiful, beautiful strikers, midfielders, even defenders, players I've seen over the last 25 years? For someone to come and say ball knowledge for Havertz. Now, I'm not even here saying my ball knowledge is great. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care, really. But I know if you're using ball knowledge for Havertz and Sesko, then you haven't got any. I know that. And that's nothing against Sesko, everything against Havertz. Because Havertz, I don't think there's a word out there yet that I can put next to him to get you lot understanding how rubbish I think he is. But we will find out. City beating Arteta in 2023 changed his tactics for the worse. He's stuck in a defense-first mindset. We've lost creativity. A striker alone won't fix 100%. But if that, you know, if that is the case, that, you know, City beating us the way they did in 2023, you know, cause some PTSD, then last season needs to cause some other PTSD, because we scored, you know, far from enough goals. We didn't score enough. So again, flip it round, Mikel. Decent chance people mention Højlund's name when talking about Sesko a year from now. Højlund was the last one with potential, right? 9 goals at Atalanta. I looked at United and thought, what are you lot doing? And many people around United, he's a good young striker. They put comps together. Look how he shields the ball. Look how he runs the channels. Look at his strength. Look at how he turns. Look at his finishing. Luki said they tried to get guaranteed money via the Super League. It didn't work, so they invested to get us back to top 4. They won't push for titles. That's a good way to look at it as well, Blicky. I don't know if it was you that mentioned that recently, but someone did. Someone did. And I see this one here from you saying, debating Gyökeres versus Sesko is evidence of how much of a joke we are. The only option should be ISAK, and any serious board will be making that happen. Yeah. Or at the very least, trying their utmost best to make it happen. And that is rattling, getting under skin, you know, doing some dirt. I don't care. Liverpool rattled Southampton one summer for Van Dijk. They threatened to take them to court. Liverpool backed off, and 6 months later, Van Dijk goes to Liverpool. Rattle. Why not? Let me scroll back up. Lee Slims again with a super chat saying, I don't want a single some man out, but they all talk stats and XG and all this bullshit bit. But when you ask what we need, they say goals. So why are they still saying Sesko? Just a joke of a fan base at times, because people are, because you know, when like, and I see someone mentioning earlier, I'm turning into League or whatever, big up Lee, but when Lee talks of fans, the cult, the Arteta hive, and the way people move to justify the decisions of someone they love more than their own mum, it seems. This is what you get, right? Because if you just put on the table, what do we need? Goals. Who brings more goals? Gyökeres. That is the end of the story and then the end of the sentence, the chapter, whatever. There is no season 2. But people make it that because apparently Arteta wants Sesko. So people are jumping through hoops to justify that because their man, the one that they love more than their own mum, it wants this player. So let's all justify it. Again, I like Sesko. I think he might be the, you know, I don't think, I'm not going to say I think he's going to be the next big thing. I haven't seen enough from him to say that, but he might be a top striker. I want Gyökeres and Sesko if it's not ISAK. And let me reiterate that before people again go off and say, I don't like Sesko, ball knowledge, all of this stuff. Shut the hell up. But justifying outside of the thing we need, goals, is part of the problem. We need goals. You men are justifying everything else but goals. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's okay to question. You know that. It's okay. I want to be big up Rick, and again, I want to be able to say it's calm if Partey leaves because we got this guy. It's calm if Martinelli Trossard go because we got this guy. I can't say shit. We ain't doing shit. They give us nothing. Can't be asked. Like I said, it'd be nice to be close to a player or two at the very least. And no, I don't mean ZUBIMENDI and Kepa. No, I do not mean that. And that's the biggest problem for me because it is still very early in the window. It is still 20th of June, but on the 18th, they fly to Singapore. Less than a month away. On the 17th, the Premier League season starts. Man United, Old Trafford, to start off a very tough opening 6. Less than 2 months away. We know from the first bid, it takes Arsenal about 2.5 weeks minimum to get someone over the line. And with tour coming up, 2.5 weeks, yeah, time is. We'll probably do what we did with Zinchenko and Calafiori, where they fly out to sign out there, and that's not the best prep, is it? Get them in before, do that whole when you bring them out and clap and get them to sing and all that nonsense. Get them. ZUBIMENDI was still waiting. Lee says, and those same fans give Arsenal the out with all this bullshit. If Sesko arrives and doesn't bang, I'm going at all of them accounts. They'll move on to the next one, brother. And then you'll feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall. It's rare to see jerseys with current players. Most common names I've seen here are Saka, Gabriel, Rice, Martinelli. 2 names not seen, Havertz and Odegaard. Now you'll see Havertz, some match going fans again, because Arteta wanted him. They must lick everything that the club and Mikel does, because that's the right way to be a supporter. KD says we should hope you're good, KD, by the way. We should be moving like Liverpool. Instead, we're moving like a small club. Can't understand why fans are not questioning the owners. Need big change. KD, I'll just fix that sentence. We should be moving like Liverpool. Instead, we are moving like Arsenal. And I'm not saying we're a small club, but we are moving exactly how Arsenal move. Red Square says, isn't the striker debate a bit hypochondriacal? Hypochondriacal? The fuck? Hypochondriacal? I don't even know what that is to say if the striker debate is that or not. On one hand, you also want Rodrigo, who scores, creates a lot less than Martinelli, even Madueke too. No. Okay, now I understand. Probably I can't say the word, but I understand. Rodrigo is playing out of position. Rodrigo is playing with, and often played with, two players in the front four that have two at minimum, sometimes three, that are more the stars of the show in attack in the final third. So he is more the complementary act, playing out of position. So strictly looking at his numbers doesn't tell the full story, if I'm honest with you. If you've watched Rodrigo enough, you'd know he's a different level to Martinelli on the ball. Different level. Even the Martinelli of 2 years ago couldn't do what Rodrigo can do on the ball. And that, by that I mean beating a couple players through technical ability, maybe not the way Martinelli used to, with raw aggression. And he's also got a finish on him. He can bend it in, cutting in from the left. And when the last time we've seen Martinelli do that? So the numbers ain't great. I'm not saying Rodrigo's numbers have been great the last year, but he's playing out of position. He's the water carrier of the front four. So it's a very different story to, here's Gyökeres, who's their striker. Here's Sesko, who's their striker. 30 games, one bangs, one done all right. It's different. It's different. And even you mentioned Madueke there too. I don't want to see that name, brother. Please. Arteta sexuals would have never looked at Sesko if it wasn't for Arteta's interest, James included. Same way they justified Havertz and his price tag. Same way they justified Havertz and his price tag. Yeah, well, listen, I mean, you see the Havertz and the price tag thing? There is no justification for that. So soon, you know, whoever justified it, whoever's saying where would we be without Havertz, whoever's, you know, just going wild with the comments around Havertz and trying to make sense of it 2 years on, they will be found out. If the evidence is there, video form, tweet form, whatever form. Now with the Sesko stuff, you're not with Sesko. I don't mind being linked to a young striker, bro. I don't mind being linked to a young striker. I got no problem. I even like James and Graham's breakdown on Sesko. It showed me something. Sesko's not the problem, and being linked to Sesko's not the problem. The problem is that we will make it the cherry on top of whatever bullshit comes beneath it. That's the problem. I actually want Sesko, but we need Gyökeres. Doesn't mean you don't bring your need and want in, because we've signed 2-3 left backs across 12 months. We've signed 2-3 goalkeepers over 12 months. So again, I need to reiterate that Sesko looks like he could be a good striker in the next few years, a top striker. But this club make it the cherry on the top, and yeah, that's all we'll have come the end of the season. No steak, no biscuits, just a cherry. Nevzino says, we need goals, but let's not forget our chance creation was very poor. We need another creator and someone on the left wing as well, but we will be short as per. 100, we're definitely going to be short next season. Without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to be short next season. Probably in midfield, we're going to be short. And in one of the attacking positions, we're going to be short. And then people will justify by Trossard can play there, Martinelli, Marino can play there. And people will say we've got 4 strikers going into next season: Havertz, Sesko, Marino, and the other one I just mentioned, Trossard. That probably sounds likely. We've actually hit the hour. Big up the community as well. I did want to get some other comments in, but there's been just an influx of super chats. Obviously, I've got to prioritize them as well. Guna Carlos says it's annoying because Havertz was decent, 20 GNA in the first season, but the idiots who overhype him make it hard to actually give him props. Lookman and Gyökeres, please. And Carlos, again, if you've watched me the second half of last season or the season before now, I said, listen, we've found a tune. You know, if he was a squad player, I'd be happy if he was on less wages. I always said the wages thing is going to haunt us. Haunt us. He found a place in those 6 months. But you are right. When people to this day, people overhype that 6 months. Again, people have named that. People have said that 6 months was incredible. Nah, I don't know if we're looking at different dictionaries to find out the meaning of incredible, but I'm telling you, I've seen incredible. I've seen incredible in an Arsenal shirt, and those 6 months were not incredible. They were very good, closer to good than what's after very good, which is great. He bagged for 6 months, and that's not just 6 months of his 2-year Arsenal career. That's 6 months of his 5-year Premier League career. Not good enough. Not good enough. Let me round off these ones as well. Lack of ambition from this club. It's over, says Hussein. AO says, I think all managers are scapegoated with this board. Yeah, I mean, they're also paid. Well, Emery now, but Wenger and Mikel paid handsomely. If no striker game one, hashtag boycott hit where it hurts. We ain't got what it takes for that. I'll be real with you. You know, I don't want to sound defeatist about it or put anyone off, but once upon a time I tried, and at that time we was in a far worse position than we are now. And like I said, ridiculed. People still use it to laugh at, and yeah, it wasn't worth anything. So I can only imagine now how it would be received, even without a striker come game week 1. TKA says Rogers, Gyökeres, Rodrigo should be the bare minimum. That would be beautiful. Those 3 coming in minimum, even if you switch Rogers for Eze, lovely, lovely. 200M should get you all 3. One says we're definitely going to be short, but why is that Arteta's fault? I mean, I don't think anyone. Well, you must be talking about me. I haven't directly said that is Arteta's fault, but what I will say is, start of last season, he was content with it. Start of last season, Sterling came in. He said he was happy with that. Cool. He might not have been happy, but once you start saying things, and then you also sign a big contract, you're no longer that young, aspiring manager, fresh. You're now top 3 highest paid managers going into your 5th year, where you've been talking about don't settle for second for the last 2 years. Don't be satisfied. Again, out of his mouth. Talked about being proactive in the window being a must, out of his mouth. Talking about never skipping a beat in any transfer window being a must, out of his mouth. We've skipped beats in the last 3. Then throughout this season, best owners after signing the contract. He said that he's never disagreed with Edu. 5.5 years, he said. So let's not blame Edu and make it easy for Arteta now. Arteta bought Havertz. So at the end of the day, that piece of money change could have gone somewhere a lot better. A lot better. So there is a lot we can attribute to Mikel Arteta over the last couple of years, over the last year, over the last 6 months, because the first 2 weeks of the window, he said, we've scored the most goals in 2024. Why are people talking about a striker? He said that. Then he admitted we need a striker. Now, this ain't me blaming Mikel, but you're trying to absolve him. There are reasons there where I can say Mikel takes a portion of the blame. I can also do the same for the Kroenkes. I won't, because ultimately who I blame. First and foremost, always them. So yeah. All in all, I'm not just blaming Mikel Arteta. I'm blaming the ownership more than anything. And after the ownership, I look at who's the highest paid employee, and Mikel Arteta's the highest paid employee. Yeah. And that's just part and parcel of life. That's how you do it, right? You know, in a company, if you're paying someone top dollar, that's the person you hold most accountable. Let me just quickly just send this over. 1 sec. How do I send this? How do you send something on TikTok? Do you press this arrow button? There we go. There we go. Okay. Robbie's messaging me because I got Robbie out of that. I got Robbie out of that £1,000 expressions. But don't worry. You'll find that. Best of enemies soon come. But that's all sorted. Al B says Arteta will never win this club any majors. He doesn't have the temperament or tactical nausea to do so. Just look how he loses it on the touchline and get bans. OD, get Saturn in big games mentality. Nervous in big game mentality. I kind of agree with you there. I mean, this season, in a different way, this season, there was interviews off the back of like the PSG games and then some of the league games where he was rattled. He was rattled and he was a bit spiky and, you know, with his responses. And I thought, hey, hold on. Mr. Cool, Calm, Collected, gel to a premium hair is all of a sudden getting a bit why? Because you're being questioned. It's fine to be questioned, brother. You're here 5 years. You're the second longest serving manager in the league as well. Second. I'm going to wake up just seconds all around me. So I understand. And I look at Mikel's body language this season in particular off the back of being questioned. And he has been quite, you know, not his usual cool, calm, composed self. Big up Licky, new member as well. And big up Osman, who gifted the membership. Come on. And whoever took that gift, I'm going to let you know as well. I ain't done nothing for the members yet, people. I've only just started doing enough content for the well, I say the regulars. The members are probably the most regular of regulars. But yeah, big up the members, big up everyone that sent in a super chat. One last reminder, people, before we do wrap it up, and you can get your last thoughts, and if there's anything there, I'll pick up on it. If you followed the hair journey so far, if you're someone that's seeking updates on the hair journey so far, there's a WhatsApp group. It's just been created. I'll be active later today for the next 48 hours or so up until Sunday evening. I'll be in that group. So if you want to ask me questions, pictures, thoughts on the procedure, process, all of that stuff, you can do so within that group. But also in that group, you have doctors, you have experts, you have people at Elite Hair who, are more than willing to help over the next 48 hours. And if you decide to then take on treatment using that group, you also get an extra €200 off the full treatment, which works out £170 if you're over here, and wherever you are, you can do the conversion yourself. So if you're on the journey, thinking about the journey, or might need the journey soon enough, join that WhatsApp group, people. You can save some money, you can get some questions and thoughts across, and just get a bit more confidence behind that decision. I can't lie. Wasn't expecting much overall, but Shawn Michaels well and truly coming. Summer 2026. Wait on it, people. Wait on it. Anyway, love for the love, people. I'll be back when I'm back. If there's news to break, I'll break it. That news has to be for Fabrizio Ornstein, because I see Matt Law talking about Madueke, and I couldn't give a shit about Matt Law. So keep that one moving, people. Keep Madueke moving as well. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. And like I said, join up that group if you need to join the group, because it's only active for the next 48 hours up until Sunday night. So if you need to ask anything, if you just want to observe and get the gist through others, then you're welcome to do so. Just keep it respectful. Keep it humble. Love for the love. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll be back when I'm back, people. Peace.